Folks, this is really big. We've been following the Klay Thompson story since last year. And this is the first time that I've seen this happen. You see the title of this? Vegas has Klay not coming back to the Warriors. One more time. Not coming back to the Warriors. This is the first time I've ever seen the odds on multiple bookmakers saying this. Randy Silver here, Warriors Digest. We're going to break this story down for you right now, giving you daily videos, hourly videos on every update we know. Please don't miss any. Only 14% of people watching are subscribed. To not miss anything, hit subscribe, hit notified, and you'll know everything happening in Warriors land. So here we go. Per Bovada Official, Magic plus 110, Warriors plus 165, Lakers plus 550, Mavericks plus 900, Sixers plus 1200, OKC 1200. Magic are now number one. One more time. The Orlando Magic are now number one in the odds of Bovada to become the new home of Klay Thompson. Well, Randy, that's one site, right? Just one site. Doesn't mean a lot. It's okay. Well, bookies.com. Orlando Magic plus 325. 23%. Here, Sixers are second, not the Warriors, at plus 400. Warriors plus 450. 20% and 18% respectively. Folks, we've been saying, TikTok, this is the beginning of the end. What have we been updating on? The first big development, Klay not following goodbye Warriors on his Instagram and socials. Took away photos from this year with the Warriors, not following them anymore. Still following the charity arm of the organization, though, which I respect that. We see this happen a bunch of times with players, ploy in negotiations, things like that. Then we hear Klay wants at least 3 years in his deal. 3 years in his deal. Warriors have only offered him a 2-year contract, or they haven't offered him anything. So they're not going 3 years. He wants the respect factor. He's at 34, wants that 3-year deal, 37. Magic, are they offering him 3 years? Reportedly, no. So per Monte Pool, again, we talked about this as well, Klay wants 3 years. Warriors, because of the new apron rules and whatnot, have the ability... Excuse me, let me restate that. Warriors, because they have Klay Thompson and their contract, he's with them, can negotiate right now, up until free agency period starts and they have the negotiation period. Because of the new apron, now we get to it, they don't want to be in the luxury tax. We've been talking about this every day. Joe Lacob doesn't want to pay that for a team just in the play-in. So if you're going to give Klay big money, but it's not going to help you get farther to the promised land, why are you going to do that? Magic have about $60-70 million in that range in terms of salary for this summer. But the reports were that they're only offering Klay 2 years as well. So there's some posturing happening potentially in the public between Klay and the Warriors. Mike Dunleavy at his press conference for the draft said we want Klay back, but it's hard to break away the emotions of Klay as a player and what he's been with us to just the business side. And you've been with someone, you've seen him grow up, draft him out of out of college up in Washington, 4 championships, the ups and downs, seen him become a man, the injuries, everything in between. It's hard to emotionally detach from that. But then this rumor came out this morning. Paul George, Warriors willing to give Clippers star a 4-year max contract. He's the same age as Klay. So the question is, who's better right now? Klay or Paul George? Probably Paul George, you'd have to say that, is a better all-around player at this point in their career. But if I'm Klay, and you're not willing to give me, someone who's been in the organization, someone who's been there, blood, sweat, and tears, literally tearing my ligaments for you to win a championship, but yet you give me 2 years and you give someone else 4 years who hasn't been with this organization before, there can be disrespect there. Respect there. Again, I don't know Klay Thompson. I'm just seeing if potentially his perspective. I saw the comments from the video earlier. People don't want Paul George. I would say 75% said, hey, Paul George is not worth it, especially the haul. That would have to be Chris Paul and some variation of Wiggins, Kuminga, Moody, and draft picks. Mikal Bridges was 4 first-round picks. Warriors, we have first-round picks we can give up. We have like 2 or 3, if I remember correctly. But that's players and the haul of future draft picks. We don't have the depth to be able to compete in the Western Conference with that. Also, I saw some people saying Paul George is hurt a little too much. He's played more the past couple seasons than his first tenure with the Clippers at the beginning of it. In addition, say he's a bit older. It's not helping the team get younger. But what stars are really out there that we can get? Maybe Trae Young, but Trae Young isn't somebody who will fit on this Warriors. You're not putting Trae and Steph next to each other. I mean, that would be the craziest back shooting court ever. Imagine him, Klay, and what do you call it? Trae Young, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry together. Be pretty deadly if, of course, Klay was there. But Steph and Trae would be threes galore, but you would really suffer on defense. OG is not keeping his contract with the Knicks. They want him back. He could be a nice fit for us at the 3 guard. However, like 3-4, that type of position. But then again, you have Kuminga there. So does Kuminga go to 2 and Brandon gets pushed to backup point guard? So maybe there's not the right position on this team. Pascal is re-signing with the Pacers. We saw that Malik Monk is re-signing with the Kings. So there's not a lot of quality shooters out there. I saw some things about D'Angelo Russell potentially come back to the Warriors. On Pat Beverly's podcast, he kind of mentioned that. New big 4 would be Draymond, Steph, D'Lo, and Paul George. I don't think that works. So you would have Steph 1, D'Lo 2, Paul George 3, Dre 4, Trace Jackson Davis 5. In that case, again, that means Kuminga is definitely gone. Wiggins is definitely gone. Chris Paul is gone, and draft picks, because they're going to have to be sign and trade to the Clippers. And D'Lo, if he opts out of his contract, then boom. But he's getting like 15, 18 million, I want to say, with the Lakers. So he may not want to opt out of that. Would not get on the free market. That all takes you back to why these odds are what we're at. Of Klay Thompson to the Magic at 110. And again, on this other bookies.com, Magic 325. Because they're hearing things like this in the market, and they're seeing these signals of Klay and the Warriors having this breakup. And bookies are smart. They don't want to lose their money. They're going to put the best odds, technically the worst odds, for you to win your money on the most likely destination, so they don't lose as much money as possible. I, again, would love Klay Thompson back. $20-ish million, give or take maybe like $2 million over, $15 million at the basement. Have him come off the bench and be the guy, get a statue out there as a lifer. He'll have a statue regardless. But if he's not getting the playing time he wants, he feels disrespected by whatever is happening behind the scenes, which Mike Dunleavy said they're not going to talk about in that press conference. And he thinks the pasture's greener on the other side, and go for it. And as fans, we have to respect that. There used to not be free agency, and players were stuck with the team, and the owners had all the control. Obviously, it's vice versa now, where players can control themselves. Owners still try to control it a bit, but this is what they work for. Klay Thompson got the massive contract after his knee injuries, and so it feels like he owes the team a bit of debt of gratitude. A debt of gratitude. But realistically, he really doesn't owe anything like that. He is allowed to be free agent. He could have signed that 2-year, $48 million contract. He did not. So he's a free agent. He's allowed to negotiate with whatever teams he wants. And that's his ability. Imagine you at your job, whatever you do out there and you're watching this. What if you could go to your rival? What if you could talk to 4 other companies while having your current company just know you're talking to other people potentially? That'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Most jobs don't allow that. Professional athlete, you get to do that. I respect the process. You're going to want to subscribe to Warriors Digest so you don't miss anything, because we break this news for you hourly. Randy Silver here. Next update, who knows what it's going to be, but you know we got you. Out.